A Super Bowl nor'easter. Is it happening or not? That's the big question, as we kind of have a lot of variables here, but most of it comes down to just our typical three pillars that I usually talk about: track, strength, intensity. In any of my winter storm videos, if you go into this description, it'll always be track, strength, intensity. And with this upcoming storm, we can either see the intensity and the track and the strength that will lead to a winter storm getting named, or not. So, let's start off here with the National Weather Service page, where we do have our Clipper system moving through with some winter weather advisories, blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings in the northern tier of the U.S. Now, this system here will start to influence our next system, as it is bringing in the cold air through the northeast that will eventually lead to snow starting to generate from this coastal low. Two things of note from this coastal low. Right now, it's pretty far off to sea. I typically use the pocket between Nova Scotia and North Carolina as the Goldilocks zone for a nor'easter, as it typically moves through here. Now, this storm is further out to sea, therefore it also will be further east, those impacts, south and east, of course. But this storm is also 1013 millibars, and with that, we don't get as strong of a storm. Therefore, all the snow is very light, which brings low intensity. Therefore, the maximum in terms of snow totals here is 0 to 3. Now, if we go back, let's just take a look at earlier today. We were seeing a trend earlier, well, yesterday, not today. There was the potential for potentially a storm that was in that Goldilocks zone. A little bit stronger, therefore the precipitation was more intense, and that was a widespread 3 to 6, 6 to 12 inches across the entire Northeast. This is the perfect scenario. So we have this kind of very small system. It gathers some strength from the Gulf, moves into the Northeast with a low pressure system. Most areas start off as rain and switch to snow, but that snow is intense and it lasts for a while. This is a slower moving system. But as of the latest model runs, the last 3 straight model runs, we are seeing this overall trend, if I can X out of that. We're seeing this overall trend of this first wave here, which is basically the back end of our Clipper system, really not existing. There's really not much there, and when this low pressure forms, it's not over land, it is off the coast, and with the current jet stream, that's going to blow this entire system out to sea. And with that, we also get a weaker low pressure, therefore less intensity. And this is pretty much across the board what we're seeing here. The RDPS, which is the more accurate version of the shorter range, more accurate version of the Canadian model, which typically goes along with the NAM sometimes, is showing that interior low pressure where it forms over land and moves into the Goldilocks zone. But there's no strength there, as well as the low pressure is higher than 1014 millibars the entire time. So in that case, you don't really have a strong low pressure, therefore no intensity, and you're still at that 0 to 3 max. The European model is showing about that exact same thing, maybe a little bit more impacts, as that low pressure is kind of in the middle of the NAM and the RDPS, but still even less than an inch there, as that low pressure is 10-16 millibars. Therefore, there's no intensity there at all. It's just snow showers at that point. And the GFS is not much better. It's really not showing much at all. The entire storm is off the coast, even further south and east than the NAM, and that intensity 1013 is a little bit stronger, but really no intensity there either. It's just a larger low pressure system. So we're kind of looking at a bust here unless things do change back to this earlier model run here when we were seeing that potential for a more impactful snowstorm. And if we do see that, where we have a low pressure forming over land, moving into that Goldilocks zone, a little bit stronger, even if it's like 10 millibars, which is what the peak scenario is here, we could still see 3 to 6, 6 to 12, but with the recent trends, it just doesn't look like it's going to be enough. But that is all the information that I have for today. Still trying to narrow out the details here, but I'll come back tomorrow, see if this is any better or any worse, and provide an update then. But that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.